So now I have a question for Michelle and Nadia. You both took over from your fathers, in Michelle's case also from your grandfather, carrying forward a family legacy. So how was the transition, and to lead such a well-known business for both of them, and what challenges did you face, and how did you put your own style? You just talk about it little bit before, but exploring more, about like how is possible and if it's difficult to bring your own soul to something that is already very well known.
How many of you out here work with family? Too many of you, yeah, you have my condolences, yeah. How many of you are part of a multi-generational business? Anyone? Okay. So those of you that have raised your hand know that this question is kind of a loaded one, right? Like there's so many different ways to answer. I will tell you this. I refer to myself, so I've been doing this now officially 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. I lose track. I don't even know the day of the week, to be honest. But I used to refer to myself as a reluctant restaurateur, okay? I have a career in the wedding industry that I love. I was very respected. I was traveling the world. I was doing things on my terms. It's my business. The wedding and event industry is very women-centered. Like there are tons of us that are women-driven businesses, entrepreneurial, all of those things. When I had to become part of my family's business, it was not elective. It was not by choice. My father had lung disease and was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and all of which were terminal. And I'm an only child. So for the business to go forward, it was me or it was nothing, okay? And what happened when I took over the business was this, and this is not something we discuss publicly all the time, but it's worth mentioning. So in 2019, I had a wedding in Umbria. I landed at 10 p.m., okay? And at 4 o'clock in the morning, our restaurant in Chicago was on fire, and the kitchen was obliterated. And we lost fourth quarter. For those of you that understand a restaurant in fourth quarter, your life happens in fourth quarter. We had a second restaurant at the time in Rosemont that was losing money. It had very poor management, and we were kind of in a crisis. We scheduled a grand reopening for March 20th of 2020. Yes, so we then lost again because of the pandemic. So we were millions of dollars in debt at that point, and an independent restaurant without volume, and I was at the helm of that. Thankfully, again, going back to my first answer, having people you trust around you, we had a public relations expert who's actually here today who helped walk me through and taught me how to not only articulate what we were going through, but also become a standout in the industry. So I was taking over, really becoming public in the business at a time that was extremely volatile and financially just insecure for the restaurant. And so it was hard. It was really hard. And I resented the restaurant. I did. I was angry. I didn't want to do it. I missed my life. I was really, I felt like I'd lost myself when you would ask the question, how do I put my soul in? It took me years to get to a point where I loved the restaurant unconditionally, where I could look at and realize the 86 people that I am responsible for are a gift, right? Because that responsibility makes me a better human being. I can't even talk about it without getting emotional. And now I am a voluntary restaurateur, right? I'm here because I want to be, but it was hard. It was really hard. We paid off every penny of that debt. We struggled to find, who we were going to be coming out of the pandemic, and we did it. And it wasn't easy. We did it together. So I can take no credit on my own. What I will take credit for, though, is this. I sat down with my parents and said, if we are going to do this, if you're going to put me in this position, two things have to happen. One is the ingredients have to matter. They have to be at the forefront of everything we do, right? So our pasta is now made in-house. Our bread is made in-house. Everything we source is local or, when appropriate, from Italy. Our wine list, was something that was very, very important to both myself and my husband, who is my partner in all things that we do. And we are 85 years old, and it was at 82 that we were recognized by Wine Spectator for the first time. That is a long time to wait for that kind of recognition, right? And because, I mean, right? And so those were the decisions I made. That was how I put my soul into it, was I was going to take this passion that I had for weddings, for creating experiences, for making things matter, for recognizing that the people were important, and I was going to pour that in, and the customers were going to feel that. So I became very comfortable being very transparent and sort of sharing what I just shared with you on a daily basis with how I make decisions. And I think the restaurant reflects that. I think we are a group of people now that operate, unafraid to try new things. Sometimes we fail, and that's okay, right? Because we learn from it. And I think that's another thing that's really important when it comes to, like, what have I put in? I'm not interested in perfection. I'm interested in the pursuit of excellence. And I think there's a big difference between the two. And women don't give themselves enough space between those two things, too. So that would be my answer.
Thank you so much. It's very inspiring, and I think that sometimes failure is part of getting the excellence, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So thank you so much.